I was feeling terrible walking into the house. I was only halfway through my radiation treatments in Calgary and wasn't sure how I would make it through the rest. As I walked into the kitchen, I saw a quilt sitting on the table. Wait, did you lock the door? No, why would I do that? Wade and I grew up in a small town on the prairies. Together, we farmed grain and raised cattle for 48 years. We always kept the door open in case a neighbor needed something. I've been diagnosed with colorectal cancer just a couple of months earlier after I'd gone in for what I thought was kidney stones. After my initial surgery, the oncologist told me that I had dodged a bullet, but I didn't feel that way. I had so many questions during my medical appointments, but everyone was so busy, and I didn't want to bother them. I didn't feel like I had someone that I could talk to about the medical stuff. But looking at that quilt, it felt good to know that people were thinking of me. After completing radiation, I had to go to Drumheller for chemotherapy. Everything still felt surreal and out of control. I had gone to a psychologist to help with my anxiety, but I had heard so many stories about how bad chemo was, and my mind wasn't in a good place. The first time I met Tammy in the clinic, I immediately felt that she would be a safety net. She had a calmness about her, and it made me feel like I could tell her anything. We were both going through something new. She was just starting her training as the nurse navigator, but she always knew how to help me find the answers I needed. Sometimes the volunteers would bring in cookies and tea, and sitting with Tammy and the other patients felt like having a tea party with IV poles and chemo bags. Tammy would answer questions as we chatted, or we could call her directly. It was the first time in my cancer experience that I felt like I had someone who understood what I was going through and had time to answer my questions. Despite the challenges of chemo, my anxiety was gone. There was calm in the storm. A year after finishing my treatments, I was feeling that familiar anxiety as I walked into the cancer clinic again. Tammy had asked if I was interested in volunteering in the clinic, and I wasn't sure. I wasn't someone who could walk up to people and start conversation about cancer. I saw Tammy setting up an IV and remember her gentleness and confidence. I walked over and sat down next to an older lady. After introducing myself and telling her that I was once a patient here, we started talking. I found out that she had questions, and I encouraged her to talk to Tammy. Now that I volunteer at the clinic, I understand how much work goes into coordinating treatments, gathering information, and connecting people to other services. It is hard to imagine facing that storm without someone like Tammy, and now I am grateful that I get to help people find their calm place.